What's up guys, this is Yash and welcome to this new fresh video. I'm so excited to be here all the time. In today's video we'll be talking about chargebacks. And it's more like a whiteboard kind of video today because I don't do them too often. I know the camera's in my ugly face, so try to ignore that fact and let's get right into matters. So we're talking about chargebacks, and it happens all the time if you're processing credit card payments. If you're processing credit card payments, you're processing PayPal, you're doing it through Amazon, any kind of way you're trying to do it, chargebacks are bound to happen because you're gonna find some crooks and some customers who are just never happy. That's just part and parcel of what we do. We sell commodities and products and services, and whatever kind of business you are in, it is gonna tend to happen. And chargebacks are pretty much normal. They happen not just to you and I, it happens to everybody. If it didn't happen to everybody, I wouldn't have gotten 60 different requests talking about chargebacks. So in this particular video, I'm gonna tell you how chargebacks affect you, what it really does to you, and what are the main reasons that chargebacks really occur. And then we're gonna go over some list about what you really need to do in order to stay better than the chargebacks did, if that makes sense. So let's jump right into it. So what are chargebacks? Chargebacks are anything that a customer calls their bank and say, hey, I was trying to do this transaction, or I probably never did this transaction. That's when it's fraud. So they're like, hey, I did this transaction, or I see a transaction on my phone, or I was just going through the app and came across the statement and I just saw that on my Visa card or my MasterCard, my Amex, my Discover, I came across this transaction that is unfair to me, and then they'll give a reason. So when a customer gives them reason, the bank notes it down and sees, okay, where did this transaction come through? So first of all, what the probable cause could be fraud, that hey, they did not really make that transaction. It shows up on their statement, so they really don't know how is it going on and why is it there. So that's fraud. Simple. Second, bad product. It could be like, hey, the product that they sent us did not meet like my expectation. It was pretty bad product, or the product was damaged. I don't want this product. This is crap product, or this was sent to me. I personally think that bad product should be returned for a refund, or banks should not really accept chargebacks for them. But it's just me being a little kind of way about it. It's just because I personally think it's really bad for suppliers or buyers or sellers, really, those who sell stuff like that, because we guys are bound to actually have to take care of that crap that people throw at us. So I know where you're coming from, but at this point we can't really do anything. We can't change the rules off the bank. So anyways, so that's bad product. Third is no credit. So they sent their product back but they never got a refund, so they went ahead and called the bank. I'm like, hey, look, I see this $60 charge on my credit card. I made that charge, but I sent the product back, I have the tracking number, all of that information, but I never got the refund. Happens all the time, happens to big companies, happens to small companies. Sometimes they do not have the tracking number. They'll be like, hey, I sent the product back, but I never got a refund for it. So that's bad, that's no credit or no refund issued. Then there are other complaints like, hey, they never made the purchase, or they never expected it to be $25 and I was charged extra, or I canceled my subscription but I was charged for another month of subscription. So all of that shit goes on. I should mind my language. All of that crap goes on. How does the banks really take care of the chargebacks? So it's pretty simple. In today's darn age, credit cards are very much protected, right? So if there's a charge on your credit card, banks actually ensure buyer's protection so that people buy more credit cards from them, so there are no credit card frauds, and which are ranging at about billions right now in the US. But that being said, how it works, so they communicate to the bank and tell them that they see a charge on their statement that is not valid because any of these reasons that I've already told you, so they want the money back. So what the bank really does, bank actually looks up who made the transaction and where was the money actually spent. So the buyer contacts the bank contacts the seller, the one who actually made the transaction, asks them what happened. So they tell them, okay, we're gonna take that money right out of their bank account. So if you see $60 worth of purchase a buyer made, or they say they never made, $60 is gonna be deducted right from your bank, right there and then, boom, out of the bank, right there. And they're gonna charge extra chargeback fees on your account. In US it's $15, in Europe, in England particularly it's £10, in other parts of the Europe it's 15 euros. So that's where the science goes. So they're gonna take the 60 bucks and they're gonna take the $15 chargeback fees in the US, and now we guys are the same people with no product, because if they never sent out the product and we are not at fault, so we're 60 bucks less in our pocket, plus we also lose the $15 extra for chargeback fees. Now that happens all the time. So what do? Most people see that, they get very upset, they take the first steps and respond to the chargeback with a tracking number, this and that and this and that, and they lose the chargeback. And then second, they make the chargeback again, they come across the same situation again, they do the response, and then they lose a chargeback again. Because in my opinion, I lost a chargeback 7 out of 10 times. It happens all the time. You end up losing the chargebacks, and it's pretty crappy. It's a bad feeling, and I don't want the buyers to really ever know that they are gonna win the chargeback 6 out of 10 times, but that happens all the time. And that being said, when the third time comes, the chargeback shows up on your bank account, most people start to think that, hey, I'm never gonna win this chargeback, so I just don't have to respond. So the first thing I always tell people is to go follow these tracks. Follow these principles. I'm not sure if you can really even see it on the computer, on your screen right now, because I wrote it with a green marker thinking green is a color of dollar. But anyways, I'll put them as I talk about them. So first of all, track. If you're actually gonna make sales, track everything. Track the IP address you got the sale from. Track the tracking number of the product that you sent out. Don't send out with regular mail. Send it out with some kind of tracking so you could really track the information back. Second, respond to every chargeback you get. You get 10 chargebacks, respond to each one of them. You get 2, respond to them. You lost 7 of them, and you're surely gonna lose the next one, respond. Regardless of what happens, respond to chargebacks. You really need to do it, because that's the only chance you're really gonna win or not. If you're not gonna take your chance, you're gonna lose it, but you need to respond. Be it PayPal, be it Amazon Pay, be it Shopify. Choose to respond to your chargebacks. You really need to respond to your chargebacks, because that's the only way you could really compete it, or maybe win or maybe not. Explain. Very important. Explain and go at it. Really means it's the same thing. Explain every little detail. What happened? You got an order from the client. The client actually ordered sunglasses, 42mm sunglasses, or a 42mm watch with me, and we chose to make this watch, and we ship it out on the next day, and the order was received by the customer on the 16th of December. We sent out a customer service email. The customer sent it back to us, but the product was damaged, so we were not able to issue them refund. Attached are the photos of the broken product. And then that kind of chargeback explanation will get you victories, and that's how I have gotten wins on the 4 out of the 10 ones. They're less in number. 3 out of 10 ones, I've got less victories than losses, but still that money is saved. So what happens if I win the chargeback? The money reverses. The $15 chargeback fee just waves away, and I don't have to ever pay it. The other $60, $70, $80 actual charge gets dropped back into my bank account. So it's a win-win, right? So if you're actually gonna have a chargeback, you've lost the money already. So you're not gonna get that money back unless you really go ahead, track, respond, explain, and go at it. You need to put every little detail into it so you can win the chargeback. So guys, if you ever get a chargeback, go ahead, get back to the bank, tell them however and whatever you could do to actually get that money back, and it's your money, it's your product, try to get back at it. In order to not get chargebacks, try to give out every little detail on your actual page. Tell them on your website what you do, how you do it. Is there any returns? Is there any refunds? How you would never get a return. We would never do refunds for this kind of sale. We don't do refunds. Tell them everything in explanation, everything in detail, and every product. Try to put the right photos, right colors, so you don't get into that little trap of actually giving false products or showing them something else and sending them something else. Try to be a little bit more precise. Try to deal with the customer first. If you think you're gonna probably lose this because you never really send them an exchange, and you think you're gonna lose it, call up the customer, reach out on an email, say, hey, I see we have not done it yet, but we want to do it. We want to give you something free, because that's still gonna be cheaper than losing all the money, probably losing the product that they still have, and also paying extra $15. So try to take care of that. And Amazon Pay, if you're using Amazon Pay, chargebacks actually are counted against you on your accounts. It could actually make your account liable to be like suspended. So try to work on those things. And that's the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please do consider hitting the subscribe button. The button's right there at the bottom. Click on the button, subscribe to my channel, and watch my other videos right here. Thank you so much. Take care and peace.